I read a tweet and it really got me thinking about animals revolting. It's from Lawrence Ward, who says, the population of Scotland is around 5.25 million and there are 600 million cats in the world. So if every cat decided to invade Scotland, each Scot would have to fight off around 114 cats, and I don't think they could pull it off. I don't think I could fight 114 cats and survive. Have you ever had to tangle with an angry cat that still had its claws? I have. And let me tell you, gonna need a lot of the foamy liquid that you put on your cuts. Hydrogen peroxide. If cats revolt, much like the population of small wild animals in any area where there's a large domestic cat population, we'd get destroyed. Your cat's a murderer. Hello and welcome to Footnotes, the companion show to Because Science, where I take all of your comments, questions, and corrections, and then I bombard you with cats until you come up with something interesting to say to me, and I say something interesting back. And then I tell you what's coming up next on this here very channel. Hint, it's in space, there's no sound. But getting right down to it, in the last episode of Because Science, we were trying to figure out, for totally not supervillainy reasons, how best to put a laser on a frickin' shark and how best to use said laser sharks. If you haven't watched the video yet, you can watch it on YouTube or wherever you're watching this video, and you can leave me all of your nerdiest comments, corrections, and questions. Unfortunately, because of the holiday break around Thanksgiving, us here in the Void also take a break, so I did not have a chance to directly respond to all of your comments and questions on the laser shark video. Instead, for this week, and this will happen later on, closer to the New Year's holiday, for this week I'll be going back a couple of weeks, couple of months to answer some random questions you've had for me to make sure we're getting to everything. I do go back and read pretty much everything, so let's see what you had to say over the last indeterminate amount of time. Acroma and Tristan JFF say, now I want to know everything there is to know about starfish poop. During a recent episode of Footnotes, I made a side note that I was going to tell you all about starfish poop, and then I kind of punted on that to talk about something else. And fine, you want it? You really want to know about starfish poop? Well, it's more related to their butts. Starfish butts are on the front. They got front butts. You know the underside of a starfish, what we consider the underneath, where all the little tube feet are? That's where the mouth is, and that's where the stomach is thrust from its mouth and engulfs its prey like clams, and then digests it with digestive enzymes, and it pulls its stomach back into its mouth like it throws up its own guts. That's the front. The back, the top of a sea star, where you would touch it, that's where its anus is, right in the middle. Yeah, no, nice to meet you. Yeah, no, entertainment, actually. Yeah, no, about 5 years, I moved out here, that's cool. What do you do? Interesting. Yeah, did you know starfish have front butts? I should go? Okay, the sandwiches are free though, right? Harry Studio Production says, hey Kyle, why are you drinking irradiated coffee? You haven't been raiding Godzilla's kitchen, have ye? What? Oh, what, this? No, I'm fine. It's not a radioactive coffee brew. This is actually a sticker that I got from our episode when we went to, for Fallout, we went to the largest laser system in the world. And here they have these stickers. They offered us one and I took one, and they're very cool because they place these stickers in this facility on things that are potentially radioactively activated. So when something encounters a lot of radiation, like they were doing at this laser testing facility, stuff like steel and concrete, other materials can be activated and they can become radioactive themselves. So they need these stickers to designate places and objects that may have potentially become activated. And I took one and I put it on my coffee because it was funny. And it's probably not radioactive. Now that's a strong TM brew. Charlie Broom says, well, Kyle, you said if you see anything glowing blue by itself, don't go near it. What about organisms that glow blue through a form of bioluminescence? Well, bioluminescence can be beautiful, like in a firefly butt. Talking a lot about butts today. Or it can also still be dangerous. It's not quite bioluminescence, but there's a fluorescence to, say, the blue-ringed octopus's rings. And it's one of the most venomous creatures that you can step on in the ocean. And it feels squishy at first, but then you feel that beak. Not good. If something is glowing and it doesn't have an obvious source of power or something like that, don't touch it. Octopus, plutonium. Those are the only two. Castreo Castro says, I love how Kyle shows how much he cares about our safety, from maintaining to getting your flu shot. Thank you, Kyle. I'm going to get my flu shot. You know what? You're welcome. And I do care about your safety. Well, I mean, I kind of just care more about public safety and public health rather than you specifically. You're right. I do care about you specifically. And you should get your flu shot. Even if it's not 100% effective, no shot or vaccine is, it can still end up adding to herd immunity and in the end saving lives. So you should still get your flu shot. And there are a number of other science-approved things you should do to improve your health, like stop smoking. Don't burn fire in the fireplace. Wood. Don't burn wood in the fireplace. Get your flu shot. Don't text and drive. Okay? You don't need to take mega supplements. You don't need to take large doses of supplements like vitamin C and other vitamins that come in like 1,000% your daily value. If anything, you just pee all that out and it might, in the long term, be harmful and related to things like cancer. You don't need mega doses of vitamins. And unless you're malnourished or you're a woman going through pregnancy or something like that, you probably don't even need a multivitamin. Don't try to kill it with fire. People burn their house down, and sometimes those houses explode. Spiders are cool. Don't pee on a jellyfish sting. It will actually make it worse. I should do a whole episode on this because Friends ruined America with this. Wash your hands! And finally, of course, crack your knuckles all you want. It doesn't lead to arthritis, probably. Oh, and if you have comments and questions and corrections like this, I know you probably do, make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel, hitting that notification bell so you can be alarmed whenever we upload a new video, so you can get in, get early, and make sure I see what you have to say. And just as a little experiment, I think this might actually help with the algorithm. If you, in fact, like this video, go right now and just hit the like button right now on this video. I think the percentage-wise with the algorithm, with the timing, it will actually help. So let's try an experiment. Let's see what happens. I'll get back to you. Space Kitten says, how does Kyle know who is already a super nerd or frequent commenter? Kyle has all of our comments backlogged. Dun, dun, dun! I do though. No, I have an actual list right here of every single super nerd I've ever awarded through episode 96, which is this episode of Footnotes. So I have about 4 full pages of super nerds, so that's how I keep track of you. And I also, because I actually do go through these comments myself and pull them and screenshot them and feature them here, like I'm doing for you, Space Kittens, it sticks in my brain who is frequently commenting and who has good comments, and I remember that. I know in this age of technology it's hard to remember things, but I try. I try. Whoa! That one was radioactive. It's all right, I basically atomized it. There's nothing to clean up. Sky Ainsworth says, wait, old episode. Kyle said he was into rock climbing, now he says he's not an athlete? What other lies has he given? CSO Best Player says, I'm not an athletic person. Drinks protein shake. I don't know what it is about nerds that are self-deprecating. I don't like to talk about myself all that much. But I guess I don't also want to promote the idea that all nerds have to be unathletic, or they don't like doing sports, or they don't like working out or anything like that. I work out 6 times a week, I drink a load of protein shakes, and I go rock climbing twice a week, and I'm pretty into it. You can still be a nerd and care about your body and care about fitness. It's totally fine. It's hard for everyone. We're all going through the same struggle. I just figured that if I want to inhabit my body for the next couple of decades, then I want to level up my body as much as possible. Look at it like a nerd. I want to live my best life and level up my muscles and my stamina and all that, and so I kind of gamify it. And, I'm like level 12 out of 30. That's the current level cap on humans. We're waiting for DLC to change that. Medicine DLC. Our last comment comes from Michael Bullard and Jack Lind, who says, hey, Kyle, there's a whole world of science cats that you've been denying us? Kyle is cat people and you haven't done anything about it? We love cats. It's right. I am a cat person. I have multiple cats. I've had cats for the last 20 years. In fact, the same cats for the last 20 years, so I'm very much a cat person. But I haven't been denying you science cats. There's just not a whole lot of cat science that I could cram into 15 minutes of an episode. And that's because what I love about cats is that we don't know a whole lot about them and their behavior and their intelligence specifically because they refuse to be tested, which is very cat-like to me. So we can train dogs, for example, to perform tests and work through puzzles and train them to do commands, and we can train them to sit in MRIs and we can scan their little puppy brains. But cats refuse to be tested. They won't play our games, they won't be trained in the same way, and so it's much harder to test cats, and therefore we know less comparatively about them, and I like that. I'm a cat person. But the nerdiest comment at the time I'm filming this episode, I gotta give to Plasma Burn Death, cool, who says, escape the secret void access point with another document. Article 3, continue. All we need to calculate the difference between the standard ratio and our solar system core having this makes weaker constants. You should also learn this language. Please see Article 4 for next. Yeah, it's me. No, some guy with an ironically dark name called Plasma Burn Death. Yeah, he's seen Article 3. You know what that means? Yeah. Oh, he also has an alias he goes by. Chess Phantom. Damn, that's cool. Yeah, you know what? Let's see where this goes, but keep an eye on him. Both eyes. Oh. Sorry, I was just ordering more cats to take over Scotland. Oh, wait. You didn't hear none of it. Chess Phantom, I don't know where you got this secret document, but I appreciate the effort that it must have taken to get it, because you gotta dodge a lot of laser helicopters to get this kind of stuff. So you are indeed a super nerd. Take it. You earned it. Now, moving right along to this week's episode of Because Science. This week's episode is, what is the best science appreciating show across all of sci-fi television? That's right, in this week's episode of Because Science, I'm gonna go a little bit in a different direction. I'm gonna make what's like my love letter to a science fiction show that I think is one of the best of this generation and gets so much science right. And not only am I gonna give you examples and try to prove my point on why the show is so great, but I'm actually gonna go on set, I'm gonna talk to the cast, the crew, the writers, we're gonna delve into it, and there might even be some surprises in there when we're there, wherever we're going. However we're getting there, stay tuned. But before we get to all that, please watch the latest episode of Because Science if you haven't yet, all about attaching frickin' laser beams to sharks, and leave me your best comments, corrections, and questions because I might end up using them even if they're not related to the episode for an episode like this at youtube.com/becausescience, facebook.com/becausescience, and at becausescience on the Instagram and the Twitter. And don't forget, if you've ever been at a tide pool, if you've ever been to a museum or an aquarium and you've touched a starfish, you probably touched its butt.